What's up guys, CJ here, and welcome back to this week's all-new Star Wars video. This week's video is going to be kind of a special one. It's a little different than what we usually do, but there's good reason for it. Today we're going to examine the origins and backgrounds of the Jedi Exile, Meetra Surik, the protagonist of Knights of the Old Republic 2. And I'm not even going to lie to you, this video is definitely just happening because recently I've been playing through Knights of the Old Republic 2 again, and I'm just continually blown away by it. It's so good and really underrated in my eyes. It's a lot better than I remember from when I played it first as a kid, and I know a lot of people know the first Knights of the Old Republic, but way fewer seem to know about Knights of the Old Republic 2. The Exile as a character is also just incredibly interesting, with a backstory that often gets overlooked. So for this video, without spoiling anything for the game, we've decided to cover the Exile's canon backstory up until the start of the game, but no further. But let's start with a fun fact that you might not know unless you've played the Old Republic MMO. While the original game gives you a choice of your character's gender, Surik is actually canonically a woman. She, like most Jedi, was discovered to be Force-sensitive at a young age, and was taken to be trained in the ways of the Force. At that time, Padawans and younglings actually weren't trained at the temple on Coruscant, but at the Jedi Enclave on Dantooine, where Surik spent most of her childhood and teenage years. Initially taken on as a Padawan by Master Kavar, who would come back to make an appearance in the game, Surik actually had multiple masters, most notably Master Vima Sunrider, the daughter of Nomi Sunrider, who taught Surik some of her greatest abilities, but more on that in a little bit. Under Sunrider's tutelage, Surik became a powerful Padawan with a ton of potential, but at a turning point in her Jedi training, events in the galaxy took a dramatic turn for the worst. Mandalorian Crusaders swept through the Outer Rim, burning their way through world after world. The Republic was quick to respond, but the Jedi Order was less so. Urging caution while they considered the situation, the Council took precious time to make their decision, time many Jedi felt the Republic didn't have. And so the Jedi Knight Revan, defying the Council, went to war. Aiding the Republic, he and his fellow Jedi became the Revankist movement, taking up positions of command and helping the armies of the Republic turn the tide against the Mandalorian invaders. One of the Jedi that followed Revan was Meetra Surik. Quickly rising through the ranks due to her abilities, she advanced to the rank of Jedi Knight during the war and rose to attain a high command, becoming one of Revan's most trusted generals after her role in bloody battles like the campaign on Onderon's moon of Duxan. Ultimately, the fate of the war, and maybe the entire galaxy, was left in and decided by her hand. Setting a trap to end the war once and for all, Revan and the Republic built a super weapon on the planet of Malachor V, the Mass Shadow Generator. When the Mandalorians took the bait, the bulk of the Republic fleet was delayed from entering the system, leading Surik to make the call. Surik activated the weapon, and shortly thereafter, Revan and the fleet emerged from hyperspace. While Revan defeated Mandalore, leader of the Mandalorians, in single combat aboard his capital ship, the Mass Shadow Generator reached its devastating potential. Crushing and consuming thousands of ships and soldiers, Republic and Mandalorian alike, the death and devastation overwhelmed Surik, causing a wound in the Force that forced her to sever her connection to it, a power Vima Sunrider had passed on to her. With her connection to the Force deadened, Surik did not join the surviving Jedi who followed Revan and Malak to the dark side, instead returning to the Jedi Council to face trial and judgment for her disobedience and her role in the war. Judged as kind of a proxy perpetrator for the rest of the Jedi that followed Revan, and now without her connection to the Force, Surik was cast out of the Jedi Order for her crimes. After this, we don't know much about what happened to Surik before the events of the game. I mean, for the better part of a decade after the Mandalorian Wars and her loss of connection to the Force, the Jedi Exile wandered the Outer Rim before finding herself right in the thick of galactic intrigue again. That's about it for the origins of Meetra Surik, the Jedi Exile, and for the other half of the story, I highly recommend picking up Knights of the Old Republic 2. It is super cheap on Steam, always, because at this point it's a 10-year-old game, but it's really, really good. If you're a fan of these characters, and a fan of the first one especially, I don't think you'll regret it. Kind of like how we do videos on the origins of characters from Pacific Rim and Alien and more, of course, we've wanted to expand that to Star Wars for a long time, as it's a franchise that I personally have loved basically as long as I can remember, and it's just so rich with lore and characters from books to comics to movies, and in this case, even video games. So if you want to see more characters from the universe explored, let me know, but that's going to do it for me here. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to smash that like if you like what you saw, subscribe for more great content every single day, and consider turning on your notifications to be alerted every time we upload a new video. Signing off, this is CJ, and I'll see you next time.